Well, hello again, and thanks for joining us. What I wanted to talk about today was the role that our thoughts play in our experience of life, in how we choose to navigate life, in especially in those moments when we're upset.
Those are important
Yeah.
times.
Like when we're upset, we tend to react to our thinking. What we're thinking seems very real to us. And as a result, we can end up acting on those thoughts. We can end up writing that email that maybe I shouldn't have said that, or saying or doing something that we regret in the future. And so this is where we start getting into trouble. When we're believing our thinking that's going on in our brains. And it's understandable because it feels so real. It seems like what I'm thinking is reality, but after that email or the statement, and we kind of settle down, we can start to see, oh, maybe I was overreacting. I had kind of exaggerated the situation in my thinking. It's our thoughts. So what's interesting is to see that we aren't reacting to the circumstance, to our partner or what's going on. We're reacting to our thinking about the circumstance.
That's the most important point.
Yeah.
When we begin to see it isn't the circumstance out there that's creating my reality or all of these feelings, it's actually my thinking about what just happened.
Yeah, it is the key that seemed to be missing in our relationship, at least when we began to see this, that when I would get upset about something that was happening between us, I had always thought if she would just change, because there's really no reason for that, or whatever was my thinking in the moment. I was reacting to my thinking. And when I began to see this, I began to use that feeling of upset instead of a call to action. I began to use it as a little alarm, like a little red flag. I may be buying into my thinking that isn't accurate right now.
Very good. That was wise.
Well, has it made a difference?
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really made a difference. And the way I came to this is that after I had, raised my voice, I'd gotten upset, raised my voice, I would settle down and I would see, oh, I kind of overreacted to the situation. And in that, I would begin to see that the circumstance was very different from what my mind had initially interpreted it to be. And in seeing that, I could then be in my rational mind and figure out that in these situations, when I get upset, maybe I'm misinterpreting the situation. So, can I pause in that moment and see if there's a little broader perspective I can get? So, when we're upset, we tend to react to our thinking. And it's kind of like being in a forest bumping into trees. When I'm upset, I'm in the forest. I can't see the sun for the canopy. I'm just bumping into trees. But what's great is knowing that there is this place beyond the forest. We can get out of the forest and we can get to where we can see the sun again, so to speak. We can get to this place where our perspective can broaden and we can come to our own common sense. We can come back to this common sense and wisdom that we have within us. And then that whole response to the circumstance, completely different.
Yeah, what I noticed a lot when you would react was that you were believing something in your thinking that you had believed for many, many years. So it wasn't what was occurring in the moment even. It was from way in the past.
Yeah, that's probably true. I think most of our reactions, the triggers that each of us have, the buttons that it seems like family members and our spouse just know how to find. It looks like that. But the truth is, they're just living their lives. And these buttons exist. And in them living their lives, those buttons get pushed. They don't push the buttons. We have created the button, and the way we're thinking about the circumstance is what pushes it.
That's it. Yeah.
It's never from the outside.
It's all happening within.
It's always happening within. We've created the button within, the trigger within, and then we've pushed the button based on the way we perceive the outside situation, And I mean, we see this all the time. I mean, two people can be in the same circumstance. One person's not affected at all, and the other person is very upset.
True.
What was the difference?
Yeah.
So the difference is in the way they were thinking about the circumstance. One of them kind of let the thinking come and go, and the other gave it a lot of meaning and just started building what Connie often refers to as these thought castles on top of those initial thoughts that then just weigh us down, and we're just miserable. And the one thing that's common between the two people in the same situation but having different experiences, what's common is they're both feeling their thinking. This is what generates our experience in life. Our feelings, the way we feel, is generated by our thinking. And all that's happening inside. So this is something that has made such a difference in our lives and in the lives of our clients. When they see this, it turns everything around, whether it's their relationship with food or their relationship with themselves and their marriage, whether it's their relationship with employees, whatever it is, when they begin to see that their experience that feels so upsetting isn't being generated by the circumstance outside.
Yeah, it's like what you said. It's like when you're triggered, when you react strongly, there's a little red flag that comes up. And what we begin to see is in that moment, oh, I'm really into this right now. I've got a lot of energy about it. We can pause. And in the pause, we settle and get clarity. We see really what's going on.
Yeah, and something that comes to me right now, just a little sidebar to this, is one of my things, one of the emotions that would come up in me would be anger. And in my upbringing, anger was not appropriate. It was not very acceptable in our family. And so I was always trying to push the anger down. I was trying to avoid getting angry. And when I finally began to see that life works inside out, and I would have this experience of anger, instead of the old reaction to try and push it away, I let myself really feel it fully without the old thinking about this is wrong, this is wrong. And what I saw that was so beautiful is that the energy of the anger was actually a demonstration of my passion for life. This was the same energy that gave me the passion to play basketball well, to do business well, to do woodworking well, whatever it was. It was the same energy. It's so cool because all of our feelings, all of our emotions are the natural flow and energy of life. It's our life force. But when it's seen through these filters of, oh, that's wrong, the feelings that are associated with it are negative, but the energy isn't negative.
True.
The energy is very positive, and I saw this so clearly once. I've mentioned this before. When one of the things that I had about it in our relationship was cleaning the house all the time, and Connie wants it cleaned more regularly and probably better than I would naturally do it. But it makes sense, and it's what keeps peace in the relationship. And so I was always doing it. But it didn't mean there wasn't a little niggle of this kind of, this isn't so necessary. going on inside. So one day it really got pushed. I was really in resistance to it. I was really not wanting to clean the house. And I was going through the motions. And then I just had this thought, what if I wasn't, pushing back against this? What if I just kind of went with the flow here? And the whole anger thing went away. The whole association with I shouldn't be doing this went away. But all that energy that the anger was still there. Man, I was able to funnel that energy into cleaning a house like you've never seen before. And so it was such perfect example of how the energy of anger isn't the problem. It's the meaning I'm giving to it, which is the meaning I'm giving to the circumstance. Because that energy is beautiful. And it not only cleaned the house really well, I enjoyed it in the meantime.
You said something that would take a rather long explanation, I think, but it's up to you. Maybe we save it for next week. But you said that life was inside out versus outside in. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a longer conversation.
Good.
I think for this one, it's just important to realize that thought is probably the most important variable in our human experience.
Really good point.
Yeah. When we see this, it can make a difference between a happy, well-adjusted life and a life of suffering.
A life of misery.
Misery.
Unnecessary suffering.
Unnecessary suffering, yeah.
Now, the recipe is really good. We're having it again today. We made it yesterday. It's a Mexican stew with tomatoes, carrots, celery, and black beans. And it is yummy.
Yeah, Mexican black bean stew or soup, yeah.
So if you like a stew and you like Mexican, try this because you'll like it. It has a great taste. And at the very end, we added lime juice, which was also a beautiful addition.
Kind of gives it that Mexican authenticity.
Oh, I forgot too. We added jalapenos.
Oh, yeah, jalapenos.
They were good.
Yeah. Good. Well, thanks for joining us. Great to be with you all again.
Yeah, for sure.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.